We sometimes exert ourselves even more here, especially considering the psychological stress, which sometimes takes more energy than physical exertion.
Imagine you're floating hundreds of kilometers above Earth, surrounded by silence, darkness, and the mechanical hum of a spacecraft. You're weightless. Your body has adapted to microgravity, and your daily routines look nothing like they do back on Earth. One of the first questions people tend to ask astronauts isn't about spacewalks or rocket launches, it's about the bathroom. How do astronauts actually use the toilet in zero gravity? The answer is more complex than you might think. Unlike here on Earth, where gravity conveniently pulls everything down, space offers no such assistance. On the International Space Station, ISS, using the toilet relies entirely on airflow and suction. Every waste particle, liquid or solid, has to be carefully
On the space station, people have completely different rules and laws, different from those on the Earth.
But in space,
There are no long winter holidays, and official days off are only Saturdays and Sundays. The main holiday is obviously Cosmonautics Day.
NASA and other space agencies
But on the space station, they still pay much attention to our traditions and always get ready for celebrating New Year. Easy to hook it here.
Is a mix of vacuum,
You see, everything hangs very, very nicely.
Instead of
And on the other
using
hand,
water
it filters or to
the
clean every
system
unit
uses a
here.
fan to create suction. This air current pulls waste away from the body.
I have changed the nozzle, and now
There's a
it
urine
is
funnel for liquid waste, which is connected
time
to
for
a
me to
hose
clean
that uses negative pressure to
directly the
collect. It's
panels
shaped ergonomically
where
and
the
can be
hair
used
and
while standing or sitting,
dust are
depending on
accumulated.
the astronaut's preference and body position.
So,
For solid waste, there's a
We
seat
vacuum
with thigh
everything.
straps and foot restraints, since sitting normally
That is covered here with
impossible
this
without
fabric.
gravity. Astronauts
Everything
must
has been
secure
cleaned.
themselves before
The
starting
station is
the process.
absolutely
Once
clean
seated,
now
they turn
and
on
ready
fan
for the next
system,
working
which
week.
draws the waste down into a removable bag inside a sealed canister. The suction ensures that everything stays where it should. Learning how to use this system is not as simple as reading a manual. In fact, astronauts train with a full-scale mock-up of the toilet here on Earth. There's even a camera positioned inside the training toilet, not to embarrass anyone, but to help them align themselves correctly. It might sound awkward, but precision matters. In a gravity-free environment,
While we were shooting progress
being slightly
spaceships on
off-target
Baikonur, a
can
new
have
cargo
messy
ship has been
consequences.
getting ready to start.
NASA introduced a newer, more compact
Let's go.
toilet in 2020, called the Universal Waste Management System, UWMS. It's smaller, lighter,
Among
and
all
more
of the things,
user-friendly
it had to
than its
deliver to the
predecessor.
ISS presents for the
designed
crew
with
from the
future missions
relatives
to the
and
Moon
also
and
food
Mars
for a
in
New
mind.
Year dinner.
This new model also
говорят
better
наши
accommodates the
Like
needs
our
of all
partners say,
astronauts,
партнеры.
regardless
Amazing.
of gender. Innovations include better airflow, easier maintenance, and a more intuitive interface. Still, the fundamentals remain the same. It's all about airflow and containment.
Let's start the next set of exercises.
Managing urine in space
We do not
has
need
an
this bench
additional
anymore.
twist.
Это
It's not
упражнение
just disposed of.
с тросом.
The
This one will be for our
ISS
torso.
uses an advanced water recycling system that can turn urine back into drinkable water. That's right, today's waste is tomorrow's hydration. Through a series of filtration, purification, and distillation steps,
Сегодня
the
Today
system extracts clean
is a very
water
special
from urine,
day.
condensation,
I am here for
and
9
even the
months
moisture
already.
in exhaled breath.
The most
It might
valuable
sound
thing here for
unappealing,
those who are in
but the
orbit
result is
for a long time
high-quality water
are fruits
that meets
and
or
vegetables in these
exceeds drinking
containers.
standards on Earth.
In a long flight, we lack them so
Astronauts
much.
say they
Every
barely
such
notice a
surprise from
difference.
Earth is a real
Solid
feast for
waste,
astronauts.
on the other
It's
hand,
coming
is
from
not
the
recycled.
back
Instead,
right to our
once the
docking
container
segment
is full,
to dock there.
It's sealed and stored
to bring us our
until it
stuff.
can be loaded onto a waste disposal vehicle, usually a cargo spacecraft that burns up upon re-entry into Earth's atmosphere. In other words, human waste is incinerated during descent, essentially turning it into ash long before it ever hits the ground. There's also the matter of hygiene. With dozens of astronauts sharing tight quarters, maintaining sanitary toilet conditions is essential. After each use, surfaces are wiped down with disinfectant, and the air filters are regularly cleaned to prevent odors from lingering. The entire process is highly structured and routine, even if it's not something astronauts like to talk about publicly. Astronauts also need to manage bodily functions a little differently. Because of the weightlessness, digestion can slow down, and gases don't separate from solids and liquids in the body the way they do.
And begin to unpack. There's some cookies,
for example,
postcards with Happy New Year. Well, they are, of course, from MCC,
good dietary planning.
from the Earth. They will make our evening on the International Space Station. New Year could be celebrated every hour and a half. During this time, the ISS makes one orbit around the Earth, and it turns out that during the day, our orbital complex crosses the border between the old and the new year 16 times in different time zones. The astronauts have a unique opportunity to celebrate the holiday together with all the inhabitants of our planet during the day. But usually, the New Year is celebrated for 3 times on the station: Moscow time, Houston time, and Greenwich Mean Time, as we all live according to this time, no matter where you come from.
Every astronaut gets thoroughly familiar with their spacecraft's hygiene systems. They practice using all equipment in simulated conditions, including underwater training and gravity offset systems. It's not just about getting comfortable with the equipment, it's about avoiding the very real possibility of contamination. A mistake in zero gravity could mean floating debris, compromised air filters, or bacterial spread in an enclosed environment. In addition to the physical systems, astronauts also deal with the psychological side of bathroom routines. Using the toilet in a space capsule with minimal privacy, surrounded by crewmates.
Photos and videos from the International Space Station allow us to do the impossible.
And even a polite
look at our planet from a height of several hundred kilometers.
These details
At least we can virtually visit the places to where, for many reasons, it is so hard to get for man. Everything that you see in our TV project is shot by the astronauts. Almost every day, the space station crew conducts a chronicle of the extraordinary experiment in the history of the ISS.
Urine collection involved condoms connected to tubes, which astronauts wore inside their suits. These early methods were functional but uncomfortable. And the improvements we see today are a direct result of decades of trial, error, and innovation. To some, the topic of space toilets might seem trivial compared to rocket science or space exploration. But to astronauts, it's a crucial part of daily life.
It's morning on a day off aboard the International Space Station. Mikhail Kornienko is drinking coffee from the space coffee package. Sergei Volkov is already shooting the Earth through the service module windows.
Personal hygiene safely and effectively isn't just about comfort. It's about mission success, health, and morale. In many ways, the toilet is a symbol of human adaptability. It shows how
the crew learned to work with the various photo and video devices on Earth
and re-engineered them for space
while training during special classes.
That behind every big scientific
After all, shooting is an integral part of an orbital expedition.
Working in the background.
At the station, there is no day without taking a picture.
Gravity causes water to flow downwards, allowing it to run off your skin, drip from your hair,
when can we start?
And drain into pipes.
Go on.
In space, water
and do not forget to shoot the hands.
Like that. Instead,
well, say something for our viewers, please.
That cling to surfaces, including your body, and must be carefully collected and managed.
So we have started the shooting a few minutes before the undocking.
With water streaming
6,
over your head
5,
and down
4,
a drain are completely impractical in orbit. Early space
copy that.
have no dedicated
I understand. We are ready.
At all. And even
whoa, we are ready.
The ISS doesn't
Let's get started.
Like
we usually do the shooting together.
So how do astronauts
one astronaut works as an operator, and the other one everything that he shoots and what is happening in the shot at this point.
Instead of stepping into a shower,
this is a large module.
Astronauts use specially
when you fly around it, it is by our standards.
These are essentially
on the floor.
Products you might use while camping.
And this is like a cave to make you
designed to
understand we fly
without needing water for rinsing.
It is like being inserted vertically into a subway car.
packed with essentials
Sometimes
like
when we put the
rinse-free
camera
body wipes,
stationary,
no
we push
rinse
the record
shampoo,
button and
toothpaste,
work in the shot.
deodorant, and
Here
a
is how
towel.
this can be done in
When it's
weightlessness.
time to wash,
There is a
they'll
camera.
take a cloth or wipe,
There is weightlessness.
apply the cleaning
There is
solution
a bracket
or water,
that
and carefully
we
wipe
use
themselves
specifically
down.
for fixing the
used
camera.
cloth is then sealed in a waste container. The whole
We
process
fix the camera,
is methodical, efficient,
fasten
and quite
it,
different from the relaxed routines
and
most of us have on Earth. There's no standing
point the
under a
camera
warm stream of water
to the
for
desired
5 minutes.
position.
Every drop must
Something
be
like
accounted
this.
for, and every movement controlled.
Open.
In terms of hair care,
camera's monitor,
astronauts don't wash their
as you
hair
can
with a
see,
traditional
rotates
lather
in
and rinse.
any direction.
Instead,
And
they
if I
use
work alone,
no-rinse shampoo, which can be massaged
If I
into
work
the
alone,
scalp and towel dry.
In order to control the shot,
same principle
I point it to
applies
myself.
shaving.
After that, I
Electric
turn on the
razors
camera.
are commonly used because they don't require water and help prevent hair clippings from floating around the cabin. In the past, even a simple
During the
task
filming
like
of a
trimming
Year in
hair
Space TV
required
project,
an improvised
Mikhail
vacuum
Kornienko many times had to
collect
work
the
alone,
stray strands.
mounting the camera on a
Today's
special
equipment
bracket
is more
or moving with
advanced,
it around the
but it
station.
still relies on suction to manage
Weightlessness
particles
sometimes
that would
complicates the
otherwise
shooting.
become airborne
A
hazards
space
in
cameraman has to have
microgravity.
something to hold on to.
Oral hygiene is also
But when the
adjusted
astronaut
for
shoots
space.
while moving, special
Astronauts use
conditions,
normal
on the contrary,
toothbrushes,
help to
but their
keep the
toothpaste
desired
is
frame.
often edible,
In
meaning it can be
weightlessness, you
swallowed
do not need
safely
special
instead of
systems and
spit into a
devices to
sink.
stabilize the camera.
This is more hygienic
You should
and
not be
practical
afraid
in a
that the
place
expense
where
of
loose liquid can become a problem. Some astronauts still prefer to spit into a towel and discard it, but the option to swallow toothpaste adds an extra level of convenience. One of the key challenges in space hygiene is dealing with water. Water is both
Some
heavy
materials,
and
due to the
difficult
number
to
and size of the
manage in
video files,
microgravity.
are sent to
So
the
the
Earth
amount
on the
carried on
board
board
of the
is limited.
Soyuz.
That
For
means
example, it was like
conservation
this with the
is
filming of our spacewalk.
Every ounce
They were
of
delivered
water
from the
used for
ISS
personal
with the crew of
hygiene
Gennady
is one
Padalka.
less ounce
But we are
available
trying
for
to send
drinking,
most of the videos
food
to the Mission
preparation,
Control Center
or life
directly
support
from the
systems.
station.
That's why astronauts learn to
So,
use
we have
as little
finished our
water as
workout.
possible
Let's put
and to
everything as it
reuse what
was.
they can. The ISS has a highly advanced environmental control and life support system, ECLSS, that
We
recycles
must
water from multiple sources, including condensation
fix
from the
all
air,
these pins
sweat, and even urine.
to make
This
sure
recycled
that it
water is
remains
purified
stable.
and reused for everything from drinking to washing.
It must
Because
not
water is
move
so
at
valuable,
all.
astronauts become highly disciplined
We have to
about
deactivate
hygiene.
it.
Sweating is inevitable, especially
So there's
after
no pressure.
exercise. So managing body odor and
Like
bacteria
this zero.
is part of daily maintenance. The ISS is
All
kept
the
at a
exercises
comfortable temperature and
take
humidity
1.5 to
to
2
reduce
hours,
sweating.
but better too.
But astronauts still change their clothes regularly.
We have around
wash
12
themselves
exercises,
carefully,
and if you have an
disinfect
imagination,
high-contact surfaces.
you could probably do even
Clothing,
more.
too, is treated
It is a
differently.
perfect machine for all
Rather
types
than
of
being
muscles.
washed,
It helps
used
us to keep
garments are
fit during
worn
the
for several
flight
days
and after
before being
landing.
discarded.
We are always in a good mood
There's
after
limited
training,
laundry
like after a
capability
gym
in
on the
space,
Earth. It is
and
very
washing
important
machines
during a
would
flight
require
lasting a
too
whole year.
much water, energy, and space.
A way to pay attention
Instead,
to the fact that it is
astronauts
being
pack
held
just enough
on
clothing
isolated
for the mission
barks.
and dispose of worn items
The
in
whole
cargo
structure
ships
is
that
isolated,
eventually burn up
so it
in
does
the
not
Earth's
transmit the
atmosphere.
pressure to the main
While
body of
current
the station.
astronauts on the ISS rely
It is rather
on sponge
sophisticated
baths and
construction
hygiene wipes, this wasn't always
with digital
the case.
controls.
In the 1970s, Skylab,
You see the track.
the United States' first space station, did experiment with,
With
a
the
type of
remote
shower.
that is there on the
The
computer,
system involved a
we even have
cylindrical
photos here.
enclosure, a
We settled the
pressurized water
program for the
dispenser,
training.
and a vacuum to remove
There's
the
my
water
face
after
right here.
use. The idea
I'm very
was
proud
simple
of
in
it.
theory, but complicated
There are
in
different settings
execution.
with difficult levels
Without
of
gravity,
pressure.
water droplets
You choose the
floated
one you
around,
need now,
clinging
and
to skin and walls.
we start training.
And often needed to be vacuumed off.
To run here,
It took considerable
like on the
time to
Earth,
set up, use, and clean the system.
you need to stand
and
on it.
astronauts found it cumbersome.
For this, we put this harness,
Eventually,
as we
the
call
space
it,
shower was abandoned in favor
is
of
fixed here
faster,
on the wall.
more efficient sponge bathing methods.
and with these
The
things,
Soviet Mir space station
we
also
attach
had a
ourselves
basic
to the
shower
treadmill.
system, using water spray and
we can
suction
regulate the
to
level of
control the
tightness
environment.
with the computer
Like
as well.
Skylab's, it was
It's
eventually
about
phased
70%
out
of your
because it
weight.
required too
So
much
if I'm
time and
75 kilos,
Both
I
systems
attach
taught
myself with the
valuable
weight
lessons
of 55
that shaped the way
kilos
we
around
manage
every
hygiene
2
in
days.
space today.
We run
Even though modern
every
systems
day.
are streamlined, there's still a mental
And
and
3
emotional
weeks
adjustment
before the
that
landing,
astronauts must make.
all the exercises
Many
except
describe
running
missing the
are
feeling
finished.
of running water
We
and the comfort of familiar rituals. A long, hot shower is something
I will
many
demonstrate
take
to
for
you how to
granted
prepare
on
this
Earth.
device for training.
But in space, it becomes one
First,
of the most missed luxuries.
I open the
When
2 locks
astronauts
that hold the
return home,
panel.
one of the first things many of them do is take a
Like
long
this?
bath or shower. Something simple, but deeply grounding after months
As you
in
can see,
space.
there are
Despite all these limitations,
2
hygiene in
bars,
space is not neglected.
2
In
locks
fact,
that
it's taken
rigidly
incredibly seriously. In a closed
attached
environment like the ISS, poor hygiene can quickly lead to illness
the bicycle
or
frame
skin infections
to the main
fungal
body
growth, and
of the
body
station.
odor
This
can
is
spread more
probably
rapidly in
the only
microgravity,
device
where
that during
particles float
exercising
and airflow
is not
recycled.
isolated from the main
That's why
body and is
astronauts follow
rigidly
strict
connected
hygiene
to it.
schedules
So
and
when
clean
you
themselves
cycle
and
with
their
high pressure,
surroundings
it is possible to see how the
meticulously.
solar batteries in
Cleaning
our
the
section
station
sway
itself is
along
also part of the routine. Astronauts spend time each week
We are ready.
wiping down surfaces.
Okay, we are too.
Vacuuming air
What time
filters
shall we in
and
an
ensuring
hour?
the
The
environment
Munich
stays
lab of the
healthy
German
for
Space
everyone
Agency
on
is
board.
watching the events that are
This is
taking place
crucial,
in St.
not
Petersburg.
just for physical health, but also for morale. Living in a clean, organized space helps maintain mental clarity and emotional stability, which is especially important during long-duration missions where the psychological strain can be high. Over time, living in microgravity can lead to muscle atrophy, bone density loss, cardiovascular deconditioning, and even issues with balance and coordination. Without the force of gravity constantly acting on the body,
Spacewalking is the most
muscles and
dangerous
bones
work
start
one
to
might need to
weaken,
carry out during the
and they
expedition on the
weaken fast.
After
To
that,
counteract these effects,
the module is regulated
astronauts must exercise every single day. It's
with
not
pedals to
optional.
suit the height
Aboard
of each
the
astronaut.
ISS, each crew member typically spends
Each of us
about
knows
2
these settings.
hours per day exercising.
All the
This is
pedals
not
are
just
installed.
about staying
Oh,
fit
this
for the
bike we
sake
use
of
not
health.
only to
It's
train
about
our
preserving the
cardiovascular
physical
system,
strength and endurance
as we do it
needed
on
to
Earth,
perform
but
spacewalks,
also to get
operate
ready to
machinery,
land.
and safely
The
return
specialists
to
of the
Earth.
Institute
After
of
even a few
Biomedical
weeks in
Problems
space without exercise,
recommend us to
an
twist it with
astronaut's body
hands.
would begin to show signs of deterioration.
To do this, we
After
use these
several
things.
months, the effects
Everything
would be
is done.
dramatic.
Bike is
The
ready
main
to start.
problem is that in the absence
training.
of gravity, muscles
The advantage
no
of the
longer need to
bicycle
work
is that
to
it
support
does
the
not
body.
need any source of
On
energy.
Earth, even standing or walking
So we just
involves
produce this
engaging
energy
multiple muscle
ourselves.
groups.
We could
In
even
space,
use that
however,
energy to light some
astronauts
bulbs.
can drift effortlessly
But
from one part of the station to another.
we haven't started
with
doing
the
that yet.
slightest push. While this might sound appealing, the long-term effects can be dangerous.
You put your feet here,
Muscles shrink, bones become brittle, and the heart doesn't have to work as hard to pump blood against gravity, leading to reduced cardiovascular fitness. To mitigate all of this, NASA and its partners have developed specialized exercise equipment designed to work in microgravity. Unlike typical gym machines on Earth that rely on weights and gravity for resistance, space-based systems use vacuum cylinders, resistance bands, flywheels, and motors to simulate the same effects. These machines are compact, carefully engineered, and tightly secured to the
Italy,
walls and floor
Greece,
of the space
look.
station to
Do you see this head
prevent
there?
astronauts
Now we are
or
heading to the Suez Canal,
from floating away during a workout.
Africa.
One of the most important
Red Sea.
pieces of exercise equipment on the
Okay.
ISS is the Advanced Resistive Exercise Device, or ARED.
It is the 3rd time
This
Sergei
machine
Volkov is
allows
on the space
astronauts
station.
to perform weightlifting
And during each
style
flight, the
exercises
Russian
like
cosmonaut
squats,
makes a lot of
deadlifts,
photos.
and bench presses.
The crew takes pictures of the
Movements
Earth
that
on
are
a variety of
essential for
occasions,
maintaining bone
but
density
judging by the
and
number of
muscle mass.
pictures of the cosmos,
ARED
it is
uses
never
vacuum
boring.
cylinders to create adjustable resistance levels, which can be tailored to each astronaut's training
We offer
program.
you to look at our
Despite
planet
being
through the
weightless,
eyes of astronauts.
astronauts can simulate
These images,
lifting up to
many of which
600
you will want to
pounds of
call
resistance
paintings,
using
were taken from space
ARED.
over the most different
The
parts
system
of
is
the
also
Earth.
designed
Among
to
them,
be as
there are
quiet
photos
and
taken by
smooth as
Sergei
possible
Volkov.
to avoid vibrations that could interfere with the station's sensitive instruments. To keep their cardiovascular systems in shape, astronauts use 2 other key machines, the treadmill and the cycle ergometer. The treadmill on the ISS, known as the T2 treadmill, works much like one on Earth, but there's one major difference. Astronauts have to be strapped down. Without gravity, there's nothing to keep them in contact with the treadmill surface. So, they wear a harness connected to bungee cords, which hold them in place with a simulated body weight. Running on the treadmill with this setup isn't exactly the same as running on Earth, but it provides the necessary impact and loading forces that help maintain leg strength and bone density. The second piece of cardio equipment is the CEVIS, or cycle ergometer, with vibration, isolation, and stabilization. It's a stationary bike, but it doesn't have a seat. Astronauts clip their shoes into the pedals and float in place while pedaling. The bike is mounted with shock absorbers to prevent vibrations from spreading through the station. It allows astronauts to get their heart rates up and maintain aerobic fitness without taking up too much space. Together, ARED, the treadmill, and the cycle form the core of the ISS exercise program. Each astronaut follows a personalized fitness routine developed in coordination with
show to
trainers
specialists.
on Earth. They track their performance, report data back to mission control, and adjust their training plans as needed. The aim is to return to Earth in as close to pre-launch condition as possible. It's not just about looking healthy. It's about being physically capable of withstanding the rigors of re-entry, landing, and gravity readjustment. But exercising in space isn't without its challenges. Equipment maintenance is a constant concern. In a place where repairs are difficult and spare parts are limited, every bolt and bearing matters. Engineers have worked hard to design systems that are reliable, durable, and easy to service. Even so, astronauts sometimes have to make mid-mission repairs or adjustments to keep
We use the
equipment
windows
running.
not only for the work.
Another issue
They
is
allow
sweat.
you at any time to
On
see the Earth and
sweat
feel the connection
evaporates
with your
and
home,
is carried away
which
by air.
is so far away.
In microgravity,
In the context of a
sweat
long
sticks to the
expedition,
skin
it is very
and
important.
doesn't drip away.
Mikhail Kornienko, who has
Astronauts
already
have to
spent
wipe
more
it
than
off
10
with
months at the
towels
station,
during and after
lives in a
workouts.
cabin without a
The air
window.
conditioning systems
And certainly,
on the
stronger than
ISS
all the
also
other
help
crew
with
members,
humidity
he
control.
feels this important
But managing
element
moisture
of psychological
is an important
relief,
part of keeping
a
the
simple
station clean and
opportunity
safe.
to look at his
After
home
workouts,
planet.
towels and clothes are sealed in containers and disposed of, since laundry facilities are not available on the station. Despite these limitations, many astronauts say they come to value exercise time as more than just a medical necessity. It becomes a break from work, a mental reset, and a rare moment of solitude. Some listen to music, others watch videos on tablets mounted nearby. It's a time to focus on themselves and maintain a sense of normalcy in an otherwise very unusual environment. Interestingly, astronauts often return to Earth physically changed, but not always in expected ways. While exercise routines prevent severe muscle and bone loss, some astronauts experience shifts in posture and movement. Their spines stretch out in microgravity, making them temporarily taller, and their muscles adapt to moving in 3 dimensions. Back on Earth, these adaptations can take weeks to reverse. Some report soreness in muscles they hadn't used in months. Readapting to gravity involves relearning how to walk, balance, and even stand for extended periods. In preparation for longer missions to the moon
Soon,
or
we will
Mars,
describe in detail
space
how the
agencies are
cosmonauts
already
cope with the
thinking ahead.
psychological pressure,
Exercise
which is a
systems for
common
those
problem
missions
for
will need to
everyone
be
in
more
space.
compact, more efficient, and perhaps even
Meantime,
smarter.
we offer you to
Engineers
see a
are
new
working on
column we made
next-generation machines
together
that
with the
use
space station
artificial
crew.
intelligence to track
Answers
progress,
from space.
adjust resistance in real time, and require less
Dear
physical
viewers,
space.
Suits do more than
Future
just keep a
astronauts
person
may
alive
also
in this
wear
hostile
resistance
environment.
suits
They
that
make it
apply
possible to
constant
work
pressure
and
to
achieve
muscles,
clear results,
providing
be
a
it
passive
science or
form of
further building and
exercise
upgrading
throughout
of
the
the
day.
orbital station.
Some experiments have also looked at electrical muscle stimulation, or EMS, to contract muscles involuntarily and reduce the amount of time spent working out. While promising in some ways, these methods are still being tested and haven't replaced traditional exercise routines. The truth is, there's no perfect substitute for moving your own body against resistance. And for now,
Russian
daily
cosmonauts
workouts
have
remain
their
the gold
spacesuits
standard
made for them on the
keeping
research and
astronauts
development
healthy in
production
space.
enterprise Zvezda,
Overall,
located outside
exercise in
Moscow.
zero gravity is a fascinating blend of science, engineering, and determination.
It was
It's
this
not
very
glamorous,
factory
and
kept
it's not
classified
easy,
for
but
so
it's
many
essential.
years that
The
produced
equipment may be
out-of-this-world
advanced,
suits
and the
for the
setting
flight
may
of
be
Yuri
extraordinary,
Gagarin and the first
but the
ever
goals are
spacewalk of
surprisingly
Alexei
familiar.
Leonov.
Maintain strength, protect your heart,
Man has gone out into space.
and stay ready for the challenges ahead.
Man
In
has gone
space,
out into
your
space.
fitness isn't just about feeling good.
Naturally,
It's about
EVA
survival,
suits have changed a
mission
lot since the
success,
first
and being
spacewalk.
able to
The
come
modern
home
Russian
in
spacesuit
one piece.
Orlan is an
Each day
autonomous
in orbit
system that
is
makes it
carefully
possible to work
structured.
outside the station
Astronauts
for
don't
more than
simply
7
wake up and
hours.
decide what they feel like doing. Instead, their days are
Commencing
planned to
ascent.
the minute by mission control teams.
Number
on
3?
Earth. Balancing work,
Number 3 is
rest,
ready.
communication,
Number 3 is ready.
exercise, and
Close the door of the
personal time.
decompression chamber.
The schedule is designed around a standard 24-hour day, using coordinated universal time to ensure consistency between international space agencies. Astronauts typically wake at 0600 UTC and go to sleep around 2130, though there can be adjustments.
Volodya,
depending
once
on
again,
mission
what is your
conditions.
thermal status?
After waking
Ready to
up,
carry out the
crew starts
experiments.
with personal hygiene.
Before being sent
As
into
explained
space,
previously,
Orlan has
this
tested
doesn't
and tried out
involve
dozens of
showers or
times
long
on the
bathroom
ground.
routines.
Both
Instead,
at the manufacturing
astronauts
stage
use
and after
rinse-free
general
wipes,
assembly.
no rinse shampoo, and toothpaste, sometimes edible, to quickly clean themselves. They change clothes as needed, though outfits are worn for longer than we're used to on Earth due to limited storage and the lack of laundry equipment. After hygiene, they have breakfast, often consisting of packaged meals.
Oleg
dehydrated
Kononenko
fruits,
is meeting
or
Mikhail and
heat-stabilized
Gennady on
entrees.
board. He is also a
Following
Russian
breakfast, a
cosmonaut.
daily planning
We'll get to know him
conference is
closer
held.
soon.
This is a brief
Oleg will
but
take part in a
essential
unique
meeting
experiment
between
on
the
robot
ISS crew
control.
and mission control centers around
But for
the
now,
world.
you can see how the
NASA
Space
in
Conquerors
Houston,
rest.
ESA
And once
in
again
Germany,
realize that
Roscosmos
astronauts are
in
exceptional
Moscow,
people,
and
prepared
JAXA
for
in
extraordinary
Japan,
deeds,
among others.
even after hard work
During this
in outer
conference,
space.
updates are shared, tasks are clarified, and the day's timeline
Dear
is
viewers,
reviewed.
a bit of space
Communication
acrobatics
control
especially
is
for you.
vital because it allows real-time coordination for scientific experiments, system checks, maintenance tasks, and health monitoring. Once planning is complete, the work
This happens sometimes.
Tasks vary widely, depending on the mission goals and individual responsibilities. Some astronauts may focus on operating and maintaining the life support systems, while others conduct scientific experiments in fields like biology, materials science, or medicine. These experiments are often designed by researchers on Earth and carried out in the station's various laboratories. Microgravity offers a unique environment for studying phenomena that can't be easily replicated on the ground, such as how cells grow without gravity or how fire behaves in space. Routine maintenance is another major part of life aboard the ISS.
You are very lucky,
Astronauts
dear
regularly
viewers,
inspect,
because today
clean,
you are going
and
to see
repair
one of the most
systems that
unusual
support
space
life,
experiments.
including the air
We are going to
filtration,
control robots
water
back on
purification,
Earth right
waste
from
processing,
here, from the
and power
International
systems.
Space Station.
One of the most important of these is the Environmental Control and Life Support System.
You will also
or
witness a rare orbital
ECLSS.
operation.
This
Relocating a
complex
Soyuz
network
spacecraft,
manages air
find out how
composition,
satellites are launched
water
from aboard the
recycling,
ISS,
temperature,
and see
and
more space
humidity
experiments from
inside
Mikhail
the station.
Kornienko.
The air is constantly filtered to remove carbon dioxide, odors,
I'm not
and airborne
putting a
particles.
fizzy in this bubble.
Oxygen levels are
what
monitored and
happens.
adjusted using oxygen generators and backup canisters. This system also includes emergency reserves and fail-safes to ensure the crew's safety. Water is equally critical, and every drop is carefully managed. The ISS recycles as much as 90% of the water on board, including moisture from breath, sweat, used hygiene wipes, and urine. The water recovery system
ISS
processes
VZG-1
all of this
to Moscow
using
Mission
filtration
Control.
and
Listening,
distillation
Misha.
to produce clean, drinkable water.
Wow, Mikhail Kornienko was
This is
talking
then
to Russian
used for
ground controllers.
rehydrating
St.
food,
Petersburg and
drinking,
Munich
and
were already
limited
prepared
hygiene.
to receive the signal
The
from
process
space.
may not sound appealing, But the
Scientists
final
from
product
two robotic
meets or
institutes in
exceeds
Russia and
Earth's
Germany
drinking water
collaborate on an
standards.
unusual experiment
In space,
called contour.
resource efficiency is key, and astronauts rely on these closed-loop systems to survive.
Let's start.
Lunch and dinner
The
on
astronaut's
ISS
task is to
are
strike
similar
all the
to
targets in the
breakfast.
robot's reach
Compact,
as fast as
nutritious,
possible.
and packaged
The
to
targets
prevent
around the
crumbs or
meerkat from
liquids
every
from
side
floating
and are
away.
programmed in such a
The
way
food
that
might
it's
include
impossible to predict
thermostabilized
which
beef
light will
stew,
go off next.
rehydrated scrambled eggs,
Let's start.
or vacuum-sealed rice. Meals are often eaten communally, with astronauts gathering at the small galley tables to eat
Right
and
now,
talk.
I'm touching the flashing
Mealtime is
targets
more
with the
than just
robot
nutrition.
located on Earth.
It's a way for the crew to connect.
You can clearly
relax,
see tense
and take a
muscles on the
break from their
astronaut's
packed
arm.
schedule.
Although a leg tried controlling the
Special
meerkat back
occasions
on
such as
Earth, he
birthdays,
now has microgravity
holidays,
to take
or
into account.
international events are
Many
often
things
marked
at
with
first are
shared
unsuccessful,
treats or themed
and the
meals.
robot touches wrong
Sometimes
targets.
even including care
But very
packages
soon,
from
the
home.
astronaut and the meerkat start
Sleep is
working
another
as
highly
a whole.
managed aspect of daily life. In microgravity, there's no lying down, so astronauts sleep in small personal crew quarters, which are about the size of a phone booth. Each compartment includes a sleeping bag fixed to the wall, a reading light, ventilation fan, personal items, and sometimes a small screen for watching videos or making calls to family. Privacy
ISS.
is limited, but the setup
Today, we're
allows
going to
each
show you how
astronaut
Russian
to have their own
cosmonauts prepare
space.
for it and explain
To
why
sleep
the
comfortably and
ISS couldn't have been built and
Astronauts
successfully
zip
operated for so
themselves
many
into their sleeping
thousands of
bags
fantastic
to prevent
photos and rare
floating
videos
around
were
and
made
bumping
through the
into
windows of the service module.
Exercise is essential.
Cleaning
as
one of them is
discussed
naturally only a
previously,
part of
and
work
typically
outside the
takes place in
station.
The second half of the day.
The preparation
Astronauts
starts on
follow
Earth
strict
long
fitness
before the
routines
mission.
using the treadmill, cycle ergometer, and advanced resistive exercise device, ARED. These workouts maintain muscle mass, cardiovascular health, and bone density. After a few hours of work or research, some crew members will rotate into their assigned exercise slots, while others continue with technical duties. This balance of work and fitness is crucial not only for physical health, but for mental well-being. Mental health is taken seriously on the ISS. While the station is an incredible place to
Shall we
work,
leave it like that?
it's also an isolated, high-stress environment. There's no fresh air, no natural light, and no way to step outside for a break unless you're suited up for a spacewalk. Astronauts manage stress through scheduled communication with family, personal time, and access to entertainment like books, music, and movies. They can also send emails.
A mock-up of the Russian segment of the orbital station has been assembled in the Hydro Lab of Star City.
The underwater modules are exactly the same size as the ones on the ISS.
Astronauts are trained not just in
Following the
engineering
plan
and
of the
science,
future
but
spacewalk,
also
the
in team
crew is training in
communication,
hydro weightlessness
cultural
conditions.
sensitivity, and conflict
Their spacesuits
resolution.
are loaded with several
ISS
kilograms of
is a
lead
truly
to prevent the
international
cosmonauts from
collaboration,
resurfacing or sinking
with
by
astronauts
keeping
from
them in a
different
state of
countries,
neutral buoyancy.
languages, and
For
backgrounds
every
living
real-life
together in a
EVA,
confined
there are
space.
3 praxis in a
Crew
swimming pool.
members learn to work
I don't
and
know
live
how you could perform
cooperatively,
space.
respecting differences and maintaining strong interpersonal
Don't worry,
dynamics.
this emergency situation took place aboard a
Regular
simulator,
check-ins
not
with
a real
psychologists
spacecraft.
on Earth provide
Inside of it
additional
is the
support
crew of the Russian
to help
astronaut Sergei
monitor for
Volkov.
signs of fatigue
We
or
made this footage
emotional
shortly
strain.
before his trip into space.
Unexpected events do
Sergei
happen.
replaced Gennady
Whether it's a
Padalka on the
system
station.
malfunction,
He will
a
also be
medical
the one to take
concern,
the
or
participants
even
of a
an
year-long
incoming
mission
piece
back
of
to
space
the ground.
debris, astronauts are trained to respond quickly and effectively. Emergency drills are performed regularly, including fire simulations, pressure leaks, and evacuation procedures. There are designated safe zones, escape routes, and backup spacecraft like the Crew Dragon or Soyuz capsules docked to the station at all times, ready to return the crew to Earth if
The
needed.
Cosmonaut Training Center
At the
provides
end
this
of
kind
each
of
day,
practice all the
astronauts
time.
log their
While still on
activities,
Earth, the crew goes
complete
through every
reports,
possible
and
emergency
sometimes
situation,
record video
learns how to
messages for
manually
public
control the
outreach or
spacecraft, and
documentation.
quickly respond to any
Before
unexpected
going to
turn
sleep,
of events.
the crew usually
This program
has
was
some
used to
time
train Mikhail
unwind,
Kornienko before his
watching a
year-long
film,
mission.
listening
It's
to
also
music,
the training program
or
for young
simply enjoying the
cosmonauts
view
who
of
just
Earth
recently
from
joined
one
the
of the
Cosmonaut
station's
Corps.
windows.
Luckily,
The
most of
cupola
these skills are
module,
never
with
tried
its
out in real
panoramic
life.
glass windows
and during their missions, commanders and onboard engineers
connection to the outside world.
control of the robot located at a
astronauts
distance of
say that
400
looking
kilometers
down
from
at
the
Earth,
space station
watching
is performed with
thunderstorms
this
light up the
joystick,
clouds,
a
or
product
seeing a
of
sunrise
collaboration
every
of
90
Russian
minutes
and German
is
scientists.
a humbling and grounding experience.
During the experimental
All these
session,
routines,
I will control
eating,
the robot
cleaning,
using the video
working,
feedback from
exercising,
the robot
sleeping,
camera.
happen within the framework
The video
of a
feedback will
delicate,
be shown
self-contained
on the display of
ecosystem.
this computer.
Every
Usually
action
during the session
is
of
part
robot
a larger
control, I
system
can't get
of
distracted.
sustainability
But today I
and
made an
survival.
exception.
The daily life of an astronaut isn't just about exploring space. It's about maintaining a balance between high-performance operations and basic human needs. As missions expand to the Moon, Mars, and possibly beyond, these systems and routines will evolve further.
Say that everything is okay.
Engineers are
They even
already
need to leave the
developing more
orbital
advanced
station.
life support systems.
You will
Autonomous
find out who
medical
manufactures
tools,
spacesuits
3D
that are
printed
resistant to
equipment,
temperature drops and
enhanced
radiation.
recycling technologies.
You will also see how crew members
Future
relax after
astronauts
hard
may
work
live for
outside the
months
station.
or years on distant planets or lunar bases, where even more independence from Earth will be required. Until then, the ISS continues to serve as a test bed for living in space, a place where humanity learns, day by day, how to survive and thrive.
It's quite
beyond
common
the
for people on
atmosphere.
Earth to call it a
The
walk in
routines
space.
may look simple on paper,
But in reality,
behind them lies an
extravehicular activity, or
extraordinary
EVA,
combination of
is a
science,
necessity.
teamwork,
It's
and
the
human
type of job
resilience.
without which